car in when I hear a car coming down Candace's driveway. And her talking to somebody, which I assume was somebody in the car with her. But as I hear her getting closer, I come back out of the creek and jump up out of, and then into the roadway. And she's in Grandis's vehicle. And so anyway, when she pulls up, she's on the phone with Donnie. But the first thing I said, Donnie's on the phone with her, and I didn't even realize at the time, it just didn't hit me. But the first thing I said to Candace is, I heard her scream, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And then I realized Donnie's on the phone. And Donnie says something like, so you're telling me somebody's taking my baby girl or something? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know, I didn't put it together, enough time, like, right? When I heard more than 3 calls for her, I knew something was wrong, but I gave it, I don't know how many calls, by the time I reached the driveway, it was quite a few at that point, but my gut had already dropped, and my mind already started putting that noise we'd heard together with and thinking the worst, and so I started looking, in kind of a way like, well, we'll find her here in just a second. I'll see her down here. And I was hollering at, trying to let Candace know that I was looking at the bottom, but she couldn't hear me.
All these dogs have allegedly been on the property for a long time. So the fact that the parents are so conclusive that Summer was kidnapped by a stranger, yet do not report hearing any dogs barking on the property, is a giant red flag. They didn't consider the fact that people would say, well, if a stranger came onto your property and took your daughter, why weren't the dogs barking? And then retroactively, they've come up with reasons why the dogs weren't barking, one of which is that all the dogs magically were off the property that day. So while that is possible, it is extremely unlikely. Parents of actual missing children, whenever they have an opportunity to speak to the public, no matter how small the platform, to do these things. First of all, we expect them to speak of the kid in present tense. Second, we expect them to be cooperative. So we expect them to be trying to answer every question that's posed to them. Present tense, cooperative, inconclusive. So unless there's evidence that a kid was kidnapped, like muddy footprints in the room or a ransom note, we expect the parents of missing children to be inconclusive about what happened. All options are on the table, including a kidnapping. Right? They could have wandered off. A dog could have dragged them off. An animal could have taken them.
Don Wills has not been a nice guy throughout his lifetime. Abused his little sister when she was 5 years old.
The biggest fear is, her being tormented or locked in a dungeon or basement or something, because she loved to be outside all the time. That was her. Unfortunately, her downfall, because a lot of boys would be inside and we'd be like, where's Summer? Why'd you leave her out there alone? Go get Summer now, and that's happened over and over again. And we'd come out and she would always be close by, but we was always coming up. She had to be outside. She was an outdoor person. And
she loved to be outside.
And I'm so afraid that she's locked away.